Greetings, fellow YouTubers. I am SirLeibl1. Today, I'm officially back into ranting. Today's rant will be about intolerance towards people not acting purely their gender. What I mean by not acting purely their gender is that they don't conform to every stereotypical aspect of their gender. So, for example, a man is known for having a lot of masculine aspects to him, but he cries whenever his friend or family members die, in which many consider crying to be feminine. Or a woman that has a lot of feminine aspects to her, but she also likes to play video games, which is considered by many a masculine activity. I want to rant about this because on the night before New Year's Day, I was doing research on gender roles. I looked up some videos on YouTube about it, and I bumped into some videos that featured a man whose name was Steven Anderson, in which he was a pastor at Faithful Word Baptist Church, which is located in Arizona. In his videos, he said stuff about the genders, such as females cannot wear pants, in which many of them do. Males should cut their hair short in the whole 9 yards. Well, I know in the Old Testament of the Bible it says that women should not wear which pertains to men and men should not wear which pertains to women. But look at many girls and women nowadays. You see them wear pants as their regular clothing, but the pants they are wearing are fit for their body. Now, the only time when you will rarely see a female dress in pants are during special occasions such as funerals, weddings, and balls in which they are wearing gowns or dresses. According to males, men over in Ireland and Scotland used to dress in kilts, which were skirts, and some still do. But you have to realize that pants and skirts did not exist back in the Old Testament days. Back then, men and women wore tunics and robes, which both looked like dresses, but the tunics and robes men and women wore slightly varied from each other. Now, as for the hair aspect, women were expected to have long hair and men were expected to have short hair. Now, even that has changed today. Now, the part I want to get to is when Pastor Anderson talked about how men should act and talk pure masculine and women should act and talk pure feminine. So what he means is that a man must be straight up masculine and a woman must be straight up feminine. So if you're a boy or a man and you have one drop of femininity in you, you contaminate your masculinity. Or if you are a girl or a woman and you have one drop of masculinity in you, you contaminate your femininity. That's just like saying that one drop of black in your bloodline destroys the rest of your white heritage or whatever heritage you have in you. He is pretty much the Jim Crow of gender. One thing you read from the Bible was some verse saying something about pissing against a wall. I believe he misinterpreted that part because he spoke about him going on a trip to Germany, and he saw signs in men's bathrooms saying to not stand up while urinating. Due to what he read and what he saw in the men's bathrooms, he stated that it was wrong for men to sit down while urinating, and he said the problem with America is that President Obama pees while sitting down. Are you serious, Anderson? You're telling us that men sitting down while using the bathroom is a sin. So if I go to the bathroom and urinate while sitting down on the toilet, I've sinned against God. Do you know how ignorant you sound? The way you use the bathroom does not affect your relationship with God whatsoever. No matter what gender you are, if you have to use the bathroom, you have to use the bathroom. There's no I have to stand up because I am a man. As a matter of fact, you have a really messed up view of gender. God may have made males and females biologically different, but they are still equal in his eyes. Just like blacks and whites may be biologically different, they are still equal in God's eyes. In your eyes, they are not equal. You expect males to be these macho, gangsta muscleheads without emotion, and you expect women to be weak and unintelligent. This is not what God had in mind, and I know he hasn't had that in mind. Sure, he wanted the men and women to have some differences, but not like what you're saying. While men have strength, they also should have some kindness and emotions in them. While women are nice and kind, they should have some strength and intelligence in them. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you had men being pure macho, meaning they fuss and use violence all the time, and women being pure weak, there will be chaos. If everyone has a good balance of hard and soft in them, regardless of gender, everything will run excellent. It's not only Anderson that has intolerance towards people not acting purely stereotypically their gender, It runs in many other people too, and I know some of these people. This type of intolerance is even getting innocent young children killed. I read this news article on the night before New Year's Day, and I have the article in the description if you want to read it. The story took place back in the summer of 2010 in Long Island, New York. The case involved a man by the name of Pedro Jones who had a girlfriend who had a baby boy who was 17 months old. By the way, Pedro was not the father of the baby, but one day he took the baby and struck him so hard that the baby suffered cardiac arrest and died. He did this to the baby because he felt that the baby was acting too feminine for his gender and wanted him to toughen up even though he was 17 months old. Pedro was so obsessed on how people should act according to their gender that he killed a baby boy over it. If we don't join together and fight against intolerance towards people who don't act their gender according to stereotypes, there is a high chance that more kids and possibly adults will get killed in the future. God cares about our love and faith first before race and gender. If someone has a mixture of hardness and softness in them, that's good because again, God does not expect all men to be pure macho and all women to be pure weak and unintelligent. That's all for this rant, and if you are being abused or know anyone that is being abused because of how they act, then turn to some help immediately. My condolences go out to the people that are being abused or have been abused according to how they act, and my condolences go out to the people that have been killed over such tolerance. I'm SirLeibl1, over and out. Have a good night.